The xenobiology team stood frozen as Director Patterson approached the containment field. Behind the shimmering barrier, 3 Corthian cubs paced restlessly, their obsidian scales catching the sterile laboratory light like fragments of a shattered night sky. "Don't do this," Dr. Reeves warned, gripping her tablet so tightly her knuckles turned white. "Every simulation shows they'll attack. Their species hasn't shown peaceful contact in 200 years of observation." Patterson understood her concern. The Corthians had destroyed the first 3 colony ships that entered their space. Their adults were apex predators, 8 feet of pure muscle and rage, with claws that could shred titanium plating. The galactic community had written them off as irredeemably hostile, a species to be avoided at all costs. But Patterson had spent 6 months studying the cubs recovered from an abandoned nest on Korth Prime. 6 months watching their behaviors, their interactions, their curious attempts to manipulate the force fields. She'd seen something in their movements that the data couldn't capture. Intelligence, yes, but also something deeper, something almost playful. "The instructor protocols are based on adult behavior," Patterson said quietly, her hand hovering over the containment controls. "But these aren't adults. They're children. Children with fangs that can tear through bone." Lieutenant Commander Hayes interjected from his security position. His plasma rifle hummed with readiness. "Director, this violates every first contact safety protocol we have." Patterson knew he was right. Earth's Xenological Institute had 300 years of protocols designed to keep humans alive when meeting new species. Those protocols had been written in blood, learned through tragic mistakes on dozens of worlds. The rules were simple: never assume. She deactivated the containment field. The response was immediate. Alarm shrieked. Hayes raised his weapon. Reeves shouted something about emergency containment. The 3 cubs surged forward, moving with the fluid grace of natural predators. Their eyes, all 6 of them per cub, locked onto Patterson with an intensity that made her breath catch. This was it. The moment that would either revolutionize humanity's understanding of the Corthians or end with her name on a memorial plaque as a cautionary tale. The largest cub reached her first. It lowered its massive head, scales rippling with colors Patterson's team hadn't documented before. Deep purples and gentle blues instead of the aggressive reds they'd always displayed behind the barrier. The creature's mouth opened, revealing rows of crystalline teeth. Then a tongue, rough, warm, surprisingly gentle, touched Patterson's outstretched palm. The second and third cubs pressed against her legs, making low rumbling sounds that the translator AI struggled to interpret before finally settling on a translation that made Patterson's eyes water. Safe. Pack. Home. Behind her, she heard Hayes lower his weapon with a stunned curse. Reeves dropped her tablet entirely, the clatter echoing through the suddenly quiet lab. "Impossible," Reeves whispered. "The behavioral models, everything we knew." But Patterson was already kneeling, letting the cubs investigate her with their tongues and gentle nudges. They weren't attacking. They were greeting, the same way human children might hug a parent after a long separation. "We've been misunderstanding them," Patterson said softly, stroking the nearest cub's scales. "The adults attack because we approach their nests with weapons and fear. We treat them like monsters, so they respond like the monsters we expect them to be." The largest cub climbed into her lap, all 300 pounds of juvenile predator, and curled up like an oversized cat. Its purring vibrated through entire body. "Call command," she told Hayes, who stood slack-jawed with his rifle hanging uselessly at his side. "Tell them we need to completely revise our Corthian contact protocols. And someone get the diplomacy team down here. We're not dealing with a hostile species." She looked down at the cub in her lap, at its 6 eyes blinking slowly in what xenobiologists would later confirm was the Corthian equivalent of a contented smile. "We're dealing with a misunderstood family." 3 months later, the first Corthian diplomatic vessel would enter Earth's orbit peacefully. The adult Corthians would emerge not with weapons, but with their cubs, offering them to human handlers as the ultimate gesture of trust. Patterson's moment of trust would reshape humanity's relationship with an entire species, proving that some